Welcome to Life and Whiskey. As always, I'm Jordan, and today we are continuing on the birthday whiskey saga. We've checked out a couple so far. We have Fistful of Bourbons, Old Elk, Fighting Cock. Those are all whiskeys that either I bought or my wife bought for me for my birthday. This is another one that I bought for myself. The Special Reserve Gold Spur Corn Whiskey. This is out of the Cowboy Country Distilling in Pinedale, Wyoming. As I said or mentioned in a previous video, that I wanted to try and feature more Wyoming whiskeys, and not Wyoming whiskey brand, but Wyoming whiskeys. So whiskeys made by other distilleries here in Wyoming, because there's a good number of, well, there's not a good number of, there's a couple of them, and I think they're worth checking out. So I went with a corn whiskey because I myself personally do like corn whiskey quite a bit. I like a lot of the new make unaged corn whiskeys. A lot of people call it moonshine. Quick rabbit hole. Not moonshine. Moonshine refers to any illicit um, product. So whether it's brandy or whatever, moonshine is just something that is illegal because it was not taxed and was made under illegal circumstances. That's what moonshine is. So this whole moonshine craze that kicked off a couple years back and has quickly faded away, all that was is either unaged corn whiskey or new make whiskey. And it's really something that a lot of distilleries need to do as um, a multi-prong approach to keeping a distillery operating when it first gets going. If you're trying to age whiskey and make whiskey, well, if you put it in the barrel, you got to wait however long before you can pull it out to sell it. So, what do you do to make up for profits to keep you afloat while you're going forward? Well, a lot of people make gin or vodka or some other unaged spirit. And along those lines, you can do an unaged whiskey of some sorts, and then that somehow got lumped into the category of moonshine. So there you go. Rabbit hole over. Back to reality. Here we go. Corn whiskey. So this is an aged product, and I'm kind of curious. Let's see if there is a. Well, I'll just read you what it says, because it may say in here and it may not, and you might hear my dog running around upstairs and you might not. We'll see. It says handcrafted in the glacier-capped Wind River Mountains of Wyoming, this world-class whiskey is produced in an artisan small batch, 3 times distilled, using old-style pot distillation methods, and made with corn, millet, which is not an ingredient you find all too often, and oats to ensure a premium product, smooth but with a distinctive cowboy kick. Enjoy Gold Spur corn whiskey straight or mixed. Now, there may be hidden somewhere on this bottle an age statement, and there may not be, because now I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, and I'll probably get this wrong, but I am pretty sure that corn whiskey as a category does not have an aging requirement, and as such, the only aging requirement is that it literally touches oak. So you can quite literally take your new make corn whiskey, dump it into an oak barrel, and have a hole on, have your bunghole on top and a spigot on the bottom, and have it dumping in the top and have it cracked open and bottling on the bottom. It literally does not have any amount of time that it must be in oak, but I'm pretty sure that it states, as far as a TTB regulation, that it must be in oak, but for any unspecified time. So a lot of times if you see corn whiskey, it will be clear and unaged. This obviously has some color to it, so it has spent some time in a barrel, but I do not know how long, and I did not do my research, although maybe on this little tag it might say something. Nope, that has nothing to do with it. Anyway, so I'm rambling. And I am sorry for that. So here we go. Corn whiskey. I picked this up for $29.79. That might be a little bit much to pay for corn whiskey, especially if you're unsure if you're a fan of it or not. But because it is a small craft distillery, most whiskeys coming from craft distilleries, it's hard to get something for less than $30 or $35. That's kind of the price point that they must sell in order to actually make a profit. So that's not unexpected, and I'm happy to support a Wyoming distillery. So with that, let's see where this goes. So corn and millet and oat. Kind of an interesting concept. And I have to say, I am not really familiar with what a millet grain profile is going to bring to the table. On the nose, there's corn, sort of, but there's like a sweet honey, kind of a melon flavor or smell, and almost like think like a honeydew or a muskmelon or like a fruit salad right as it's starting to turn and go bad. It isn't bad yet, but it's kind of a little bit mushy or whatever. It has that slight zing to it, that slight sour note to it. It has that in there. But there, it also has some grain to it. Very interesting. It has corn, but now it doesn't present like corn dust, which is normally when you say corn dust is what something presents as, and that's not what I'm getting. Very interesting. On the palate, there's some flavors in there. This is going to take a couple of seconds. I'm sorry, this video might run a little bit longer than normal just because I'm going to have some trouble picking apart these flavors. They are not like any other flavor profiles, so I don't really have a good reference point as to what I'm tasting. So I'm going to try and pick this apart best I can. Give me a couple minutes. Stick with me here. I'm going to do my best to try and relay to you what we got going on here. For starters, I like it. It's very different, and it's not something I've ever had before as far as a flavor profile goes. It's something I would have to be in the mood for, but it's very light and easy to drink, and it kind of has this weird fruit vibe going to it, almost a melony fruit vibe to it. So it's something that I could see you sitting on a deck in the summer, relaxing, drinking this while trying to hide from the sun in the shade, kind of a thing. So picture that as I'm describing this here. But we got corn, and then the flavor profile, we got honey. That melon flavor carries through, oddly enough. Um, there's, if you've ever had just a regular corn moonshine, there you go, I said it, corn whiskey, like this Platte Valley stuff. If you've ever had this or something like this, an unaged corn whiskey, it has that type of a corn flavor to it. It's not corn dust though. That melon, and then there's a little something in there, man. I don't know what to say about that. It has a little bit of a zing to it, but there's also just a little bit of an oak flavor to it. Now I mean, I gotta assume it was in oak, judging by the color, but maybe not. But it has some kind of an oak flavor to it, a pretty heavy peppercorn to it, and then an ethanol bite that kind of drives the point home. Um, and From all these sips, the flavor profile has not changed. It's been very consistent, but I just don't really have a good reference point to steer you in the right direction as to what I'm tasting. It's very different, um, and I think I'm enough whiskeys into this session that I can't really. I might have to start with a clean palate sometime to taste this one. But hey, it seems like COVID's over for me because I can taste a lot of interesting things in there. Um, so just so you know, 43% alcohol, 86 proof. Um, so not super hot. Although the ethanol comes through pretty well. I don't know, man. I'm sorry, this is a lackluster review on this one. All you need to know is that it's good and it's different. So if you're looking for something different to try under 30 bucks, if you can get this in your area, which I have no idea how big a distribution they have, definitely pick it up and give it a look. Check it out. It's very interesting, very unique, and in my opinion, very good. Um, I definitely highly recommend this. So, there you go. This video is long enough, especially for a review that probably was slightly less than satisfying. Please don't hold that against me. I am sorry. I had no idea what I was getting into or what to expect. Um, and so we are where we are on this one. I am sorry, folks. But chances are you actually probably can't even get this in your area, so don't worry about it. But if you can, or if you're in Wyoming, check it out. Anyways, let me know what you think down in the comments down below. If you can get this in your area, by all means, drop it in the comments down below. I'd be curious to see what a bottle of this costs in your area, especially if you're not in Wyoming. If you're in some other state, I really have no idea what the price point on this would be. So drop that down in the comments down below. If you haven't already and you kind of like this stuff, please subscribe. Check this out. As I said in some of my other videos, all new whiskey reviews are going to be dropping on Saturdays, and all other content's going to be dropping throughout the week. So be sure to check out some of the other stuff that I have coming out when it comes out. This is bottle number 5 of whiskey reviews during this session. I'm going to do one more after this. And I think I said somewhere in one of the videos I was going to do some life content. I think we're going to push that down a little bit more. And so in the coming weeks, just be looking for new content throughout the week. But whiskey reviews will drop on Saturdays. Thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody who has watched the videos, subscribed to the channel, dropped a comment, gave a thumbs up, or has done anything else to help me out. I really appreciate it. Thanks again. We'll catch you in the next video.